Hi everybody, welcome very much to the channel. Today I'm here to show you how I got to Conqueror 1 for the first time in my first RTS game, which is AoE 4. Thank you for watching, your support is greatly appreciated. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and use the links down below to find me live on Twitch as well. So as you can see, Conqueror 1, we are very fresh Conqueror 1 with 917 games, actually with less win rate than in the two previous seasons, right? But we got all the way from Diamond 1, which we finished last season Diamond 1, we went all the way to Conqueror 1 as well. So a great improvement, a great jump, and let's see how I did it. What civilizations I played the most, what maps I performed better, and how were my matchups overall in the season. And I want to know your experience in this season in the comments down below. So let's get started, and first I want to appreciate everybody that has been on my live streams on Twitch as well. The support and the presence has been amazing, has been very good, and everybody that watches here on YouTube as well, that leaves likes and comments. I appreciate you guys a lot. Thank you for the support. Let's keep growing. Let's keep getting it. So those are the last games. Actually, I didn't notice that before, but I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins in a row that sent us from Diamond 3 to Conqueror 1, right? So unbelievable, amazing, really, really good, right? And you already can see a pattern here, which was a lot of Japan with some GD in it, but it was not the only things we were playing this season, right? So let's go rating history. You can see we're now on the highest we have been before. Never been at 1,409, right? And you can see that recently we've been going up, then down, then up again, and then we just skyrocketed all the way to Conqueror 1, right? But how did that happen? So as you can see, right, those are my top played civilizations. Top 3 is not what you expect, right? Japanese, you would expect that 294 games since March 19, which I think the season started before, but this is the most recent patch, so let's take a look at this because it was in the current patch that I performed the best and reached the furthest, right? Then second most played civilization, Jeanne d'Arc, with 195 games, right? Then my third most played civilization, and one of my favorites in the game, is actually Malians, with 92 games. Then Ottomans alone. I've been playing Ottomans for a long time, but they are in a rough spot right now, right? But still, 84 games and 51% win rate with them, so not too shy. Then Byzantines, 83 games. I stopped playing them because they were just too busted. Ilalu in chat. They were just a bit too busted for my opinion, and I wanted to be me, to be Conqueror 1, and not me abusing or using a powerful civilization. They are not ultra mega OP, but they are a bit more powerful than everything else. Then, for me, my biggest surprise, personally, Zushi's Legacy. Even though I only have 50.6% win rate and 79 games, they were very clutch games in maps or specific matchups. For example, Zushi allowed me to fast castle faster than HRE and grab the relics, allows me to Zugunu rush a Ubit player that is fast castling, for an example, allows me to compete with almost every single economy in the game. There is a very hard matchup against English, but we can beat Rus, right? We also beat a lot of Mongols in Lipany playing Zushi's Legacy, so it was really, really cool. And then anything besides Zushi was experimental, or in our random only challenges, or in our toxic Thursdays on the Twitch channel, right? Where I played some Chinese, because I played Chinese a long time ago, right? Like a year ago or something, I was playing a lot of Chinese and French, which if you go to my profile, you can still see it as my two of my most played civilizations, right? But not at the moment, and then everything else was like experimental. I also played a lot of Rus last season, where we reached Diamond 2. And yeah, my highest before Conqueror 1 was Diamond 2. I forgot to mention that, right? Yeah, 3 games with English, which was from the random challenge, and only 2 games with Order of the Dragon, but my first biggest achievement in tournaments, which was low Yellow Legends middle bracket, it was a semi-final, which I only played Order of the Dragon before they were buffed a long time ago, right? So they still have fun civilizations. So let's take a look at our most played civilizations, Japanese and Jeanne d'Arc, by far, more than 100 more games than our third civilization. So Japanese, it was basically just fast castling, right? But it's not just fast castling, it's so flexible, right? I was able to beat English, like, if you will touch this in a while, but 42% win rate against English, right? But yesterday on our road to Conqueror, right, I played against 3 English players and we beat the 3 English players with Japanese fast castle, right? Because it's not just fast castle, it's so flexible that, like I was saying, you go fast castle, you go for knights, you kill, because all the English players that we faced yesterday, they went 2TC king, right? So they got 2TC, but then we kill a lot of villagers, we get our own 2TC, we put 2 Yorishiros into the town centers, we grab 5 to 4 relics, 2 sacred sites, and then we just have a very powerful economy, a very good army composition with samurai, Onabugeisha, Onamusha, knights, even some Yumi archers, 6 mangonels because they're gonna have a mass crossbow with extra attack speed, right? 7 trebuchets, right? Because they have White Tower and sometimes Berkshire as well, you know what I'm saying? But we got it, and you can see 58.2% win rate. Japan, in some games though, with Japan, I tried, with not a lot of success, but some success, try to play feudal, or not go straight into castle, make a couple horsemen, make a couple Onabugeisha and raid my enemy, right? I remember a very specific Delhi game where I just went full Onabugeisha, the only unit I made in feudal, right? And then eventually I aged up first, right? And then I got the veteran upgrade for Onabugeisha. We actually, Twitch chat helped a lot in that game with that advice as well, and then we just killed the Delhi player, right? So there was some experimentations being made, but most of the Japan was fast castle, and sometimes we just rush Imperial to drop keeps as well. Now, Japan also great, why? Because water maps. A lot of people, especially at our rank, Diamond, Conqueror, even on Platinum, right, they don't like water maps. I always enjoyed water maps, and water maps were always my best maps. Maybe because most people don't like them, maybe because most people don't know how to play them, but I always enjoy them. Sometimes it's frustrating with the demo ships, but I really enjoy them. I think it brings a different dynamic to the game. You can use the same civilization on the water map and it is a completely different game, right? And Japan on 4 lakes and the Nubi, just great civilization overall, especially in 4 lakes. It is really great. A lot of Japanese mirrors in 4 lakes, but it is what it is, right? And Japanese, my favorite civilization, by the way, right? Even on other patches, they were my most played civilization because I really enjoy them. I really like that you have a powerful economy, but you need to invest into, right? So it's balanced in that way. We have great army compositions, you can be very flexible. I won a lot of HRE games by fast castling as well. Yes, they grabbed 2-3 relics, but I applied so much pressure by producing a lot of knights and Onamusha, right? And there was a game, I think, yesterday or 2 days ago on our very close road to Conqueror, where my Onamushas, because I was able to make them so quickly, they were killing everything. They were killing knights, spearmen, men-at-arms, archers, villagers. They were killing everything, and the knights were just a great front line as well. Jeanne d'Arc actually was an evolution of my personal game style, because I'm a bit more aggressive player. I don't really like spamming keeps. I don't do that a lot as well. Like, I don't do tower rushes. I very rarely drop keeps in my enemy phase, right? I don't like to make the game longer than necessary, but that's my personal playstyle. I don't like it. Is not, and I'm not saying that I'm better than you because of that. Sometimes, or a lot of times, I lose to players that play the game like that, right? Not so much. I've been involved in that aspect, but you know, this is my story, right? My preference. And I used to play a lot of French back in the day. Like, if I mentioned before, if you go to my profile, you can still see French as one of my most played civilizations. And Jeanne d'Arc for me was an evolution of my personal play style. because you have better eco. In my opinion, I feel way better playing JD, and you have JD, the character itself, right? So having cheaper knights, being able to kill the board super early, and then getting cheaper economical upgrades still, right, is so great. I can mess knights, I can go for archers, and I think it's because I don't play Ayyubids and the Abbasid, so I think it's for me the civilization where I can easily go into a ram to kill a tower to deny a fast castle, right? Because I'm saving a lot in food, so I can put more people into wood. JD kills the board, I go to the board, I keep raiding with knights. If the knights get... One of my most problems with French, because I also was a bit worse, is that my knights will get a lot hurt while raiding. But if that happens with JD, I can at least heal them a little bit. I can kill the early spears with JD as well. I bring archers very quickly into the game as well. And yeah, JD is my least duration average, 20.3 minutes, right? Because I have the ability to finish the games very early with a good feudal push, knight and archer, JD in the mix, especially when JD evolves in the feudal age, right? And calls her champions, they just deal with the spearmen very good. With JD, I had a lot of troubles, and again with Japanese as well against Mongols. Right, it's a very hard matchup for my most two played civilizations, right? I think Mongols are great into those two civilizations, but in the end we were able to bring them up, and 55% win rate with JD I think is really good in 195 games. Right, then we go to Malians, which I didn't do so well, because first, I never played Malians before, and I only started playing them this season, and like halfway through the season, before we got the extended season curses to that, right? So I had to learn them from scratch, so I lost a ton, bro. I went from like Diamond 1 to Plat 1, no joke, because I started playing Malians and Zushi. But Zushi was also an evolution of my game style, because I was playing a lot of China before, right? So JD and Zushi were an evolution of my personal journey, or a little differentiation, a little variation, right? Which was great to my development as a player, but playing Malians was actually greater for my development as a player. I think playing Malians brought to me, or I created a different version, a different vision to look at the game by playing Malians, right? Because they play very differently, and it was a lot of fun playing Malians, even though when I was losing a lot, just what I was doing and what I know I could do with Malians just kept me motivated to keep playing and keep learning Malians. It was great, very fun, getting that cow boom going. Sometimes don't even do the cow boom, just eat the cows and go for feudal all-ins. It's really crazy. I did experiment a couple times with Farimba Garrison. I did experiment with it, but I did not find a lot of success with it as well. Right? Ilalu in the chat, we have some Ilalu enjoyers. And those were our most played civilizations. By far Japanese, then JD, and then Malians, which we didn't do very well with them, but by playing them I did develop a lot as a AoE4 player. Then there was a period in this season where I stopped playing Japanese and I stopped playing Byzantines, and I was only quote unquote, but I was playing JD, I was playing Malians, Ottomans and Zushi. And it was actually with that gauntlet that I almost got to Diamond 3. I was one win away from Diamond 3. So I was not using my best and favorite civilization, right? And I was not cheesing or relying on one single strategy, which was very important for me as well to develop as a player, right? And as I mentioned before, Zushi was a surprise, and you guys know what Zushi does, right? A lot of flexibility, can go fast castle really quickly, can get a really quick farm transition. Sometimes in certain matchups it did felt kinda slow, but overall it was really nice. I really enjoy the games where we go full feudal and we can just spam a sea of units, because you can do the farm transition while you're spamming units, which is really helpful, right? And then you just supervise the barracks, or your military buildings, and you supervise the granaries, and you can spam for days. Really, really cool, right? Ottomans felt great sometimes, but way more than Zushi felt really slow in feudal. Like, some games I just felt I couldn't do anything in feudal. I just had to hope that my enemy misplayed, or that too deep into my base. Especially against Byzantines, it was really painful, because Byzantines are just Ottomans but better, with faster production, more free units, and way better eco. I did try with trade a lot. It was a lot of fun, the Ottoman trade, because then you get a lot of units as well for free with your military schools. So you can protect trade and not invest so much in military, which allows you to invest a bit more into trade and walls, right? So very, very interesting. And let's go to the maps. Oh no, let's go to the versus civilizations. It's a very important part of our storyline of how we reached Conqueror 1, right? And we played, of course, a lot against English, 148 games versus English, 104 versus Byzantines, and 81 versus Rus. HRE kind of falling off, but as you can see on this top 4, most played against, I only had a positive win rate versus Rus, which is 53% win rate, which was surprising to me. I thought I was doing I thought I was doing less efficient against Rus, but actually doing pretty well. English, you know, it's just like a lot of cheese, a lot of me not being able to hurt them, and then they just hurt me for free. Byzantines, kind of a bit crazy right now, a lot of units, one of the best ecos in the game, but actually I was able to punish them a lot with JD, right, in the early game. Then we're kind of struggling with HRE as well, but especially in the most recent days I've been dealing with them pretty well. Against Japanese, the mirror match sometimes, or as JD, I beat Japanese a lot as well. Delhi started as a very tough matchup, but then I improved a lot on it. Ayub, it's the same, it was a very bad matchup, but then I improved a lot on it. Versus Abbasid, 53% win rate. Versus Mongol, 47 as well. Chinese, 68, because I played a lot of Chinese and I'm a bit more aggressive, and Chinese need more time to do their stuff, so it's an easy match, easy quote-unquote matchup for me, right? Against GD, 55%, against Sushi, 57%, Order of the Dragon, 50% win rate, right in the middle. Against French, 60% win rate, of course. Then against Ottomans, 48%, that's actually kind of interesting. And then against Malians, my worst matchup ever. 21, bro. 20 out of 20 games, only 21% win rate. It's like ridiculous. I really struggle, because it's like the early damage that I do, it's never enough. Then they just go castle, even though I'm like attacking them in feudal, and then they just spam sofas on me. It's so annoying, but we will improve on that for sure. Right, then let's go to the maps. Lipany, Dry Arabia, Cliffside, Gorge, Rocky River, High View, Danube, Four Lakes, and Forts. We barely play Forts. I got it banned for most of the season because I played 8 games. The 2 first games that I played on that map, I was tower rushed by White, and then White tower rush in the same game by English, and I was like, bro, no, I will not do. Now this map, if it's going to be like this, I will not do it again. Then to refresh the season a little bit, I just opened, I had no bans, I just played with all the maps, and then we played a bit more Forts, which was kind of fun actually, but after a while it's just nonsensical. But a cool map to move the still waters, if you know what I say, if you know what I mean. So Lipany, our most played map, which is so fresh. I don't get tired of Lipany. Yes, sometimes we have like that super weird cliff in the middle, and you have to go all the way around to enter your enemy base. But in general, super fresh map, a lot of viable strategies with different biomes, different spawns, right? Question 1, what advice do you have to your fans out there who are stuck in gold or platinum? So, good question actually. Just keep believing in yourself, because this game has a lot of components, has a lot of factors, so there is not one thing that I can tell you that will take you to success and to Conqueror 1, for an example. But believe in yourself, make sure you are enjoying the game, make sure you are playing in a way that you want to play tomorrow again, or when you can, right? Make sure you're not being guided by somebody else's opinion and intuition. Make sure you are being you. Make sure you're playing the game in your way. because that's what I did. That's what I did since I started playing the game with no prior RTS experiences. I did not watch guides. The only external information that I had access to was casting games, watching tournaments, and Twitch chat, right? Which was very helpful, right? And asking to a friend to give them a hand because only hand, right? Good joke, Captain. Good joke, right? And then just focus on what you can do better, and then try to do it faster. Like literally, just try to move things faster, and don't worry about losing. Worry about evolving. But there was times where I went from Diamond 2 to Plat 1 because I was trying something new. Because I was trying to be more aggressive. I was trying to be less aggressive. I was trying to play faster, but I was committing more mistakes. But all that leads to evolution. All that leads to progress. The accumulation of your small steps lead to a big jump. And that's what happened to me, right? But I think fact number one is enjoy the game, because if you don't enjoy the game, you don't want to play tomorrow. And you can't improve if you don't keep playing, right? And then make sure you know how to win, right? Make sure that you capitalize on your advantage. Let's say you killed 20 villagers. Okay, that's a bit too much. Let's say you killed 10 villagers in feudal. As soon as you can, make a second town center. Grab relics or go for trade, right? It's not enough to just kill villagers of your enemy or win a battle. You need to capitalize on that advantage. Let's say you win a battle. Make sure that now that enemy has no army or a small army, you move your army up, or you go with some knights to the side to raid, right? Make sure your economy is stable. Make sure you know that, like, imagine you're on ship is running low. Don't wait until ship runs low to go to deer. Sometimes I still do that sometimes, but way less, right? So send one villager to deer, or two or three, or maybe 5 if you want to build a tower, right? Build a tower, build a mill, and then move your villagers from ship to there. Because if the ship ends and then you have to move all the villagers to deer, it's way more time that you're not collecting food, right? Also, you need to understand how much are you investing and how much is your enemy investing, right? Let's say you're making knights and your enemy is making horsemen. You might have the same number, but you invested way more, right? So your enemy can go castle earlier, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, know yourself, know the game, but you can't do that. You can't know the game if you don't enjoy the game. So make sure you're enjoying, make sure you believe in yourself, right? Make sure, don't let others say, oh, you gold, you plat, you suck. Bro, we all started as babies, right? We all learn how to walk. And every time you go into a new space, you gotta learn, you start from zero, you start from scratch. Unless you have prior experience, right? So just believe in yourself, believe in all possibilities, of course. And remember that the best way to be is to be your goddamn self, right? That is, and then just play the game, enjoy the game, and you'll get better. If you know what you're doing, get coaching with me as well. You know what I'm saying? It's all nice. Question 2. Your fans, viewers, complain about English and French. What is your advice on how to win versus these thieves? Actually, I don't remember the last time people complained about French, because French is barely played, right? But I have an answer for you. So versus English, I found most success in fast castling. Their eco in feudal is really strong. They have the best archer. They don't need to upgrade the spearman. They're very strong defensively. So how I win mostly against English is by out-ecoing them and raiding, and then denying their gold. Because usually they don't leave the base. But the one thing that they will not have in their base is gold. So you come out into the map, you take deer, you take boar, always scout to see what they're doing, because they are very versatile, right? And then make sure you are making mangonels, make sure you are making even some horsemen, right? Make sure you're making some knights to go into their wood line, to go into their farms. Yes, they will die to White Tower, but you're gonna get 2 villagers, they're gonna go into the tower, they're gonna go into the town center, that's idle time. That accumulates, and make sure you have a second TC. Bro, don't be afraid to go third TC if they are 2 TC and you feel your Rico can't compete. You know what I'm saying? English, you need a lot of patience. A lot of patience. right? You have to... I had to learn that very recently. Don't get frustrated. I don't think English is a fair civilization, but they're not broken and they are not OP. You can beat them, but you can hurt yourself by being too aggressive, because they have white tower in base, they have TC that shoots double arrows, and they have network of castles. You don't. Always remember that. You don't have white tower, you don't have Berkshire in the base. They do, right? So if you lose that one fight, they'll go into your base. They can lose 3 to 4 fights, you can't go into their base. So you need to do something, and that I learned that with Twitch chat help, with my own perspective. Just you gotta do something else. Nullify the gold, go for the wood lines, sacrifice some units while you prepare your real assault. Very important. Don't show that you have trebuchet. Make 5 or 6 trebuchet, appear in their base, boom, white tower is down. Then you can raid. Because if you go with one treb, what happens? They have white tower that makes Springle 100% faster. Easy for them. But if you show up with a good army and 6 trebuchet, you almost one-shot the white tower, or you force Vils to repair, which hurts their eco. You know what I'm saying? Then against French is way easier to defend, especially in feudal, because longbows almost never get into TC range, but knights need to go into TC range, and it's bro. I played a lot of French, I played a lot of JD. I know it hurts a lot. Just 3 spears in corner of the wood line, 3 spears in the corner of the other wood line, 3 to 4 spears on the gold, a tower for vision, small walls between the wood line and your town center. It's done, bro. It's really not complicated. Longbows are way more complicated because they have that extra range, and then they kill horsemen because horsemen suck, right? It's way more convoluted. And against French and GD, always make sure if they're making archers or not, and counter that with your horsemen, because horsemen will be cheaper and faster, so that you can make more of them and you can go around way faster, and you can lose horsemen. Like, who gives a fuck? It's a horseman, bro, right? But if you lose a knight, oh shit, it's a knight, you know? More questions. Answer, don't be Jade. No, Jade is good, guys. Jade is good. Jade will be better than Captain and Holy Hand, because Captain and Holy Hand just make fun of Jade, but they don't be playing. Sun's asking, what advice you got for defending knights with spears? Don't chase. Spears are not meant to chase. Spears are meant to be in place, and sometimes I still chase them around. But imagine if you have a group of spear on the gold, and you have another group of spears, you can chase with the other group. But you can chase with the spears that are protecting the resources. Because especially in higher levels, people will raid in different directions. So if you're chasing with all of your spears, they'll go with another knight and get you. It's very simple to defend knights, right? You just put the spears where you know your enemy will attack. And then if they make archers, you make archers or horsemen as well, right? It's the most frustrating part of the game for Suns, as the knights are more mobile, and it feels like my spears just get run around, will snipe, and the knights run over. Yeah, it's just don't do that. Just don't run around. They need to go to your villagers. You don't need to kill them, right? Make sure you have vision. Make sure you look at the minimap. Make some small walls between your woodline and your TC. And bro, in so many of my games, there is points where I'm raiding with knights and then I'm like, I can't do anything. They have spears in there, they have walls and towers, you know. Quando é que vais jogar jogos em equipa? Very soon. Captain Evans is laughing. Your fans and viewers feel insulted by that response. Even when I don't chase, they run around and snipe a Vil or two, then run off before spears does fatal damage. That happens to me. That happens to me with even with the king of the English. Sometimes I'm not looking, right? I also understand that like losing one villager or two is not big of a deal. Sometimes killing a knight and losing 2 villagers is worth it because in the short term they lost more than you. But just keep calm. Just remember that it's not by losing 2 or 3 villagers you lose the game. Make a spear mass and then challenge them for a fight. Attack their base as well. force them to defend, force them to lose APM, but it's just make sure you react on time, make sure you get the textiles, make sure you get textiles. I forget about textiles a lot, but it's great. Make sure you get textiles, bro, because that means the knight needs to spend more time under TC fire, right? So instead of killing one villager and coming away with half HP, they kill one villager or don't get the kill, and now they're even lower HP, right? I've never gotten textiles. I should try. Yeah, you should try that. It really helps. You might still lose a villager or two, but it will make your life way easier, way easier, way easier. Yeah, get textiles. Then, coming back to our analysis, guys, right? Dry Arabia, the best map in the game, 49%. Win rate, Cliffside, 53, actually, very, very good. Gorge, 52% win rate. I hated Rocky River. I hate that map. I don't, bro, him, not him, it and High View, bro, get out of my game. I hate those maps, bro. I hate those maps. Then as you can see, the Newbie and Four Lakes, my best maps. Right? Then let's take a look at my three of my most played civilizations. Japanese versus Ayubids, 36. Japanese versus Oli, 40. Japanese versus Malian, 11. Oh my god. Actually, Japanese, it's maybe because of water maps, right? 73%. Oh no, that's JD already. JD versus Abbasid, 40. Only 5 games though. Versus Ayubids, 80%. Versus English, 40. Yeah. The Mirror, I hate JD Mirror, bro. Versus Malians, versus Mongols, really bad. Versus Ottomans and Rus, really bad too. And then Malians, yeah, it's mostly negative, guys. And that's how I got to Conqueror 1. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I hope you can feel inspired as well to climb to the rank. And make sure to catch me live on Twitch. Leave a like and subscribe, and I see you next time.